Today's the day where I'll be doing my video shoot with my client. She's got permission to use a model home in a very nice neighborhood. And we're going to do some short video clips, very dynamic, for her social media platforms that she uses. And these will be basically to advertise herself and her work she does as a realtor. And she'll kind of add her own text and any animation she wants on those social media platforms. I've got a messy studio. I've been working on building frames, 27 by 40 frames. I've never done that before, that size. It's a mess. And so in the middle of the mess, I've got to pack everything up for the shoot. The only complication I've created for myself is after I do her work, I'm going to then shoot my own video ads for my real estate, photography, and videography. And so I'll be doing that all by myself, using the equipment I'll use for this shoot to do that. And so I'll try to bring you along. The difficulty there is the equipment I'm using to shoot it, I also use to shoot these videos. So I'll record as much as I can, at least give you an idea of what I'm doing. So this would be a lot easier if I was just shooting the video. Since I'm doing my commercial, I also need to bring my photography kit. So I'm doubling, double work, double equipment. You know what? I've got a new deal I'm working out where I may get a lot more VR tour work. Maybe I could do that too, a little commercial for that. I get everything out here that I need. And then get it all arranged. And although there's no plan for audio for her shoot, I will need it for mine, so I gotta bring all that too. Another thing I've forgotten, power cords. One time I did a shoot and I had to go find a computer and steal a cord. I do try to be organized despite myself. I was at an Office Depot or Staples, and these were like on clearance. And I guess they're for pencils and pens for school, but they work great for the cables and odds and ends, and they came in different colors, but I like that you can see what's inside. So I've got my power for the Blackmagic 4K cinema camera, and then I've got my little audio equipment here, microphones, lapel mic. So this is the dumbest mounting bracket I've ever seen. The tightener is right where the camera's going to overhang. So how do you tighten it? Ay, ay, ay. Not the most comfortable, but I found that I can shoot either orientation. These will all be vertical, so I'll be shooting it this way, but it gives me a nice steady hand. I'll also be using the gimbal with the iPhone for some shots, just so I can track the subject as I move. And this will be more for static shots where I'll be moving, but the talent will not. These clamps, you can get them anywhere. I think they might be cheapest at Harbor Freight. They're not great quality, but they do the trick. These are indispensable. You're always going to need these to clamp something down, a cable, you name it. very handy. So I always bring 2 of these. But I'm going to cut it off here because I need to pack up some of the things I'm using to shoot this, and I need to focus. Can't videotape myself and try to get my equipment together. Multitasking only goes so far, and as I already forget things when I'm doing one thing, you know I'm going to forget something doing 2 things. So I'm sure you've all noticed, but during the pandemic, people started driving crazy, and they have not stopped. Like the interstate, and maybe I'm just getting old, but people drive like it's the Grand Prix on the interstate. I'm going up I-95. The lowest speed of the typical driver is like just over 70, like 72. The speed limit's 60. And then you've got people going nuts. I have had people drive off the road onto the side of the interstate to get around folks, going 100 miles per hour. What has happened to people? Now, of course, it's a rare thing to see a policeman on the road, so it's always a surprise to see one actually stopping somebody. But is that how it is where you live, if you're in the United States? Because I don't know how it is in any other country. But is the driving just off the chain where you live since the pandemic? It is here in Virginia. Getting ready this morning for this shoot, which includes shooting for the client and then my own personal shoot. Since I've got access to this nice model home, I thought I'd take advantage of it. But that means I've got to bring a lot of equipment. And hey, I don't care if I forget some piece of equipment for what I'm doing, but I can't afford to forget something that can impact my work for the client. So as you saw, I try to stack everything up and then sort it, make sure I have what I need. But even then, something always slips through the cracks. And I've got those little bags which help, but I feel like I need to go further than that and almost make like little diagrams or charts of everything I need for the various jobs that I do. Video shoot, this is what I need to take. And just have, a visual diagram. I'm a visual person, so if I can look at something really quick and see what I need, that might be the way to go. I feel like I'm, kind of mildly handicapped, it seems. But as you get older, your memory is not as sharp as it was when you're in your teens and 20s, or even your 30s. And I'm not old, but I'm feeling the effects here at 51. I'm not as sharp as I once was. But that's what I'm thinking. I need to get a little bit more organized about these shoots, because I just can't afford to drop the ball with a client. And that's my biggest concern, is forgetting something that then impacts my ability to do the shoot. That's just unacceptable. So just something I'm thinking about doing. And again, to ask the question of you, photographers, videographers, do you have a system? Maybe you've got everything already packed up, ready to go. You just grab it and go. I would love to do that, but I'm always into something, shooting at the studio or shooting on location or doing my own work. So stuff is always everywhere. And I have this terrible habit of doing work, got a tool, say like an X-Acto blade, a camera, some part to the camera, and I'm done with it and I just toss it down. I'll put it back where it belongs. That's probably my biggest problem. That's why I forget things. But again, knowing yourself, you may not like it. I don't like that I forget things, but you've got to know who you are and accommodate for that. And that's what I'm trying to do. And just thinking about how you work with your clients, I try to be as flexible as possible. If somebody decides they want something they didn't talk to me about, if I can make it happen, I will. The goal is to keep the client happy no matter what. And I've got to say, I've not had a really bad client. I've got good relationships with all of them. Some can kind of stretch you a little bit here and there, but for the most part, I don't have an issue. And so to build that client loyalty, I feel like it's my obligation to go a little bit above and beyond, because in the end, that's also advertisement for your own work. You want people to see your good work, but you also want word of mouth. All of my best clients I've got because I knew somebody. It's rare to get a cold call and that one becomes a great client. It happens sometimes, but by and large, my entire life as I've worked, the best clients, the best customers are made through connections with other people. And so that's why it's important to keep everybody happy. Even if it's a one-time shoot and they're difficult, we'll keep them happy. That way, they might tell you others about you. There you go, you get more work. So you've got to be humble, you've got to be patient, and you've got to be willing to put up with difficulty, because in the long run, you get a good reputation and you get more customers. And so today, my client wants me to kind of take care of the shooting. So she's typically, for the photos, known exactly what she wants, but video is a little bit more difficult. And so I've created some storyboards for some camera movements and some shots that we can do in different locations and in different variations, and it should give her quite a bit of material to use for the next 2 or 3 months. So that's the plan. But again, good customers, bad customers, good clients, bad clients, go above and beyond. Bite your tongue and just give them what they want within reason. Make them happy, and in the long run, I think you'll benefit more from doing that. All right, well, I made it. I'm at the location. My client's a few minutes late. Not a problem. Actually, it makes me feel better when I get to the site before my client. It makes me look good. And it gives me a time to kind of check the place out and get my equipment ready. So that's what I'll be doing. Hopefully I have not forgotten something. Got the job done. I did a little bit of video of myself for my commercial, but I'm not so sure about how that's gonna come out. I really need to come up with a script for that one. Shoot from the hip doesn't always work, but I may have something to use. But nice little neighborhood. It's for ages 55 and up, and I must admit, that freaks me out, because in 4 more years, I can move in this place. Oh my goodness. I never thought I'd be this old to have a community designed just for me. Ugh. So now the fun part's over, shooting the videos. Now it's the editing, hoping that I got the shots I wanted and that the client will want or wants and likes. So with photography, I always feel pretty confident because I can see what I'm doing. With video, it's hard to tell sometimes if you've really got what you need. On closer inspection, the truth is clear. But it's practice makes perfect. So the more you do it, the better you get at it. A good friend of mine told me, fake it till you make it. So I think that's what most of us are doing sometimes. The weather is very nice today. It's in the 50s. We've got daylight savings time this weekend. So although we'll lose an hour, the days will last longer, and I love it. The end of winter is upon us, and I am not a fan of the wintertime. I get depressed during wintertime, and business sucks in January and February. So I'm glad the winter is coming to an end. I did enjoy the snow to a degree. I'm glad we're not going to get any more, at least I hope we don't. But I'm glad spring is on the way. Wonderful spring. Bring it on. Made a good connection when it comes to the company that builds these houses. I would love to get work from a construction group and do the photos of the model homes for their websites. So when you go to these new neighborhoods that they're constructing all over Chesterfield and around Richmond, they have the photos on the website. And I've seen some of the websites, these builders have some amazing photographers, and others I'm like, wow, not good. But if I could get my foot in the door with a builder, that would be fantastic. And I was making inroads to that, making contacts with those in construction and other builders, and then the pandemic struck, killed it all. So I could never get back where I was. It just is crazy. The pandemic really set me back. That was an apocalypse for my small business. But connections is where it's at. So I made a connection here today. So hopefully that will help me get some more business. I just want to work. Do the work and I'll do it. Not looking for a free ride. Looking for the work.